Page 5 of the Notice of Filing Child Support Guidelines worksheet completes the calculations for the child support obligations when both parties have substantial overnight time sharing, which is determined as at least 73 overnights for both parties of the minor child or minor children at issue in this case. Section 15 of the Child Support Guidelines worksheet calculates the additional support payments which the father and mother are responsible for. In order to determine this amount, you must multiply the number on line 14D, which is found at the bottom of page 4 of the worksheet, by the percentage on line 3A to determine the father's share. Make sure that the number calculated from 3A is a decimal number. Otherwise, the calculation will be inaccurate for the court's consideration. Once you have multiplied line 14D by 3A, you will be able to determine the father's share of additional support payments. Put this number on line 15A. Similarly, determine the mother's share of the additional support payments by multiplying the number on line 14D by the percentage on line 3B, and put this total number on line 15B. Section 16 of the Child Support Guidelines worksheet calculates the statutory adjustments and/or credits that are owed to each party. In subsection 16A, you must list the amount of monthly child care payments actually made by each party. In subsection 16B, you must list the monthly health insurance payments actually made by each party. And in subsection C of section 16, you must list the other payments or credits actually made for any non-covered medical, dental, and prescription medication expenses of the minor child or children, which is ordered to be separately paid on a percentage basis. Each of these credits must be listed to determine how much each party actually pays for the additional support payments listed in section 14. As such, the actual payments made by both parties in total should not exceed the amounts listed in 14A, B, and C. Once you have been able to determine these actual payment amounts, you are able to tally them and total them together in section 17. Make sure to add 16A through 16C for each party and put that number for each party as a total in the space provided in line 17A and 17B respectively. Once you have this number for each party, you will be able to determine any total additional support transfer amounts. In order to calculate this, you take the number listed in 15A and subtract the number listed in 17A and put that number for the father in 18A. Enter any negative number as a 0. Similarly, you can determine the total additional support transfer amount for the mother by taking the number stated in 15B and subtract the amount stated in 17B and put that number in 18B. Once again, any negative number should be entered as 0. Subsection 19 allows you to calculate the total child support owed from father to mother by adding the amount in line 13A to the amount listed in 18A. Put this total into 19A. Section 20 allows you to calculate the total child support owed from mother to father, which is calculated by adding line 13B to the amount stated in 18B. Put this total in 20B. And finally, in section 21, to determine the actual child support to be paid, you must compare the amount stated in line 19A and 20B. You must subtract the smaller of the two amounts from the larger amount owed and enter the result in the column for the parent that owes the larger amount of support. This means that if the number in 19A is larger than the number in 20B, that means that the father will have to owe the mother ongoing child support as calculated in the Child Support Guidelines worksheet. And the remainder is what is listed in section 21. And the opposite is true if the number in 20B is larger than the number in 19A, and it would indicate that the mother owes child support to the father, and that remainder should be put into line 21. This is the number that the court will be looking at and double checking to make sure that the calculations are correct for who owes who child support and the amount that should be paid.